Okay, we're live. Hello, friends in the water management world. This internet training program is set up for you as a property owner or a sports turf manager for a university or even a commercial landscaper. And really what I want to do in the next 5 to 7 minutes, granted we have an audience at Toastmasters watching us right now, I would like to have trained you in about 6 steps on how to be a better water manager. And most of what I'm going to describe to you is not highly complex. I'm not here pitching massive amounts of money that you need to spend to solve your problem. Most of you are looking at water bills on an annual basis looking roughly between $5,000 to $7,000. At least in San Diego, that's what we see you spending. What I'd like to talk about are water budgets. What are water budgets? Mapping, scheduling, a water management program, describe to you a few efficiency improvements, and then to finish up with an example and why you even want to do this. So let's start. We'll start with what is a water budget? Well, a water budget is a plan for how much you want to spend in consuming water to feed those precious plants that you're responsible for. If you have a sports field, that's for the playability and safety of the children playing on the field. If you're a homeowner or a large property owner, that's for the joy and entertainment of your family on the weekends. But after you get that budget established based on how much plant material you have on your property, you then want to find out, well, how much could I actually save? And that's what budgets are really for, right? A budget is set out to figure out what you really don't need to spend, and that's what we want to do with water. Find out what your water budget is based on the amount of plant material in your property. If you have an acre of grass, typically in San Diego, that could be approximately $4,000. Well, if you have an acre of grass in your property and you're spending $8,000, you have an opportunity of about $4,000. That's what we're talking about. The next step after you get your budget set up is to go ahead and do mapping. Mapping is to identify where everything is primarily on your outdoor irrigation system. You want to identify where the meter is. After the meter, you then want to identify the irrigation controller, the weather station if you have one, any of the irrigation zones. And map that all out so everybody knows, the gardener, the property owner, and even a person like me that shows up to help you when I do consulting. The third thing you want to do is really address, after you have the maps and the budgeting, the scheduling. And go ahead and take a look at your controller that's telling the valves to go on and off. And identify as best as possible how much water to put down and how often to run those sprinklers. That's the driver of this whole show. Our entire county of San Diego depends on how people schedule their irrigation clocks. The fourth thing to do, which is probably the most important, is to set up a water management program. Without any type of maintenance or program, all this work that you've done will just go to the wind. So what we'd like you to do is work on getting weekly meter readings and take those meter readings and quantify how much water you've used on a weekly basis and then measure that on your, that was a bell of injustice. Sorry, a little interruption there.